Kimber Pro Carry II two-tone 9mm firearm. This guy right here. So, looking at this guy, first of all, I need to point out that we are safe. Do a safety check on it right quick, as I always do with everybody. You can see there is no magazine. You can see there that there is no shell, nothing in the chamber. Finger in, everything is safeguarded, and we are safe and able to utilize in a safe manner for this video. I want to point out that I have already made a couple of changes to this. This is not like an open box review. I have fired this firearm already, so this is a review to let you know my initial thoughts and what I may or may not like about it, and how it functions. So anyhow, let's get into it. First of all, I don't know if you noticed when I had it racked back, this model does come with the bull barrel. There is no barrel bushing. This is the mimicking the commander style carry, but this is Kimber's version. They call it a Pro Carry. It comes in a 4-inch barrel configuration rather than your typical commander's carry 1911, which would be in generally a 4 1/4 inch. So I tend to like this 4-inch. Not that I think a 1/4 inch would make that big of a difference under carrying one of these, but I just like the design of the Kimbers. I like the fact that they have the bull barrel configuration in their Pro Carry line. Not that I have any troubles with barrel bushings. I have those in my regular size 1911s, but I like the bull barrel in this configuration. I think it looks good, and it's functional for what it needs to do. So this is a 9mm. A lot of you folks out there are the 45 folks, but this is 9mm, and this is what I intend to carry as my concealed carry firearm as well as my open carry, and this is what I'm going to use. I like the 9mm. I think it does the job. I've got a couple of 10s also, but I like the 9 for carrying. I think it does the job and provides a nice light platform to carry, and a light recoil, very shootable. Anyhow, okay, so looking at this, I have done a couple things to this firearm, and that's Jovi, my family dog in the background, also coming to say hi. But I have done a couple things to this firearm. You'll notice that Kimbers provide a plastic mainspring housing on most of their standard line 1911s. You know, it's not my taste. I like a metal mainspring housing, but to me it's not a deal breaker. I don't know of any mainspring housing on any Kimber. I know nothing on any one that I've ever had, and I've had a few, but I don't know that any mainspring housing that I know of, plastic mainspring housing, has had any issues on Kimber firearms. If there have been issues, please tell me, but I haven't heard of any. So, you know, plastic, polymer, whatever that material is they use, it seems to work. Cuts down on weight, helps cut down some of the cost, just like MIM parts do on Kimbers, and just like all the other firearms out there, other 1911s. You know, unless you get into the upper echelon 1911s from like a Dan Wesson or higher caliber, though I will say that Fusion Firearms advertises no MIM parts, but all of your mainstream makers use MIM parts. Okay, so it's not an issue in these firearms. They run well. They run for thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds, generally speaking, before parts need to be replaced, with the exception of recoil springs. So keep that in mind. Those are about every 1,500 to 2,000 rounds. It's recommended. But anyhow, doesn't matter what brand 1911 you have, unless you've got a Dan Wesson, Nighthawk, Fusion Firearms, Wilson Combat, Accuracy X, you know, Cabot, those types of firearms, you're going to find MIM parts. All right. The great thing about 1911s is if you don't like the MIM parts, you can always change them out. I don't have an issue with MIM parts because, again, I'm going to run it until something breaks, and at that point I'm going to, you know, change it out when necessary. But if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? In saying that, of course, I contradict myself a little bit. This firearm comes with rosewood grips. So when you see this, it looks a little different from what you're used to seeing. If you see it online, you're going to see it generally with rosewood grips, and you're going to see it without a mag well. So what I always do is I always put on a G10 set of grips, no matter what kind of grips they come with. I like to put on a set that I prefer for me. It's just my taste. I like these, so I put these G10 grips on, and I purchase a mainspring housing with a mag well, and that just, for me, that just completes the look. I mean, if you look at that firearm, it just looks really nice. It, to me, that's what they're all supposed to look like, you know. Some people may disagree, but that's just my feeling. Let's talk about the parts of the firearm that that everybody always talks about. Carbon steel slide, stainless steel barrel, aluminum alloy, frame. Use the aluminum alloy frame to cut down the weight because it's a Pro Carry. They do that on their Pro Carry and Ultra Carry models. I believe that is most of their frames on the Pro Carry and Ultra Carry models. Don't quote me on that because I'm not familiar with every single one they have. But in this two-tone, that's the material that is utilized. Again, carbon steel slide with the Kimber Pro finish, silver finish on an aluminum alloy frame, and a stainless steel barrel. Some of their firearms come with carbon steel barrels. The two-tone model, whether it be the custom Pro Carry, Ultra Carry, they come with a stainless steel barrel. This is a match barrel. The trigger is not a match trigger. Don't ask me what the difference is between a match trigger, a premium aluminum trigger, premium trigger, standard trigger. Honestly, they all feel the same to me when it comes to Kimbers. I like the Kimber triggers. Some people don't, but I like them. I like how they feel. I like the little bit of pre-travel, and I like the final when you hit the wall and you squeeze it. So I'm happy with it. And let me tell you now, as we get into the performance of this firearm, I have only put about 130 rounds through it, but of those 130 rounds, I had 0 fail to go into batteries. I had 0 fail to ejects. I had 0 smokestacks. I had 0 firing issues, 0 magazine issues. It fired every single round absolutely wonderfully. It cycled perfect. And I fired my first 74 rounds, which is what I had in 124 grain, 9mm, just ballers. I fired those first, were 124 grain, and then I had a 50 round pack of some 115s, just some blazer brass. Mind you, I will never fire steel case ammo in any of my firearms. If you want to fire it in yours, you go right ahead. I have nothing bad to say about it. I refuse to fire it in mine. I will make sure that I only use brass or nickel-plated brass casings. That is my feeling. I'm not going to say you're wrong for firing steel case ammo, but I just won't do it in mine. So to each his own. Anyhow, again, this firearm functioned flawlessly. So for those that are curious, single side safety, it only has a safety on one side. It does come with a smooth front strap. I don't mind that. As you can see on mine, I do this on all of mine with the smooth front strap. I put some grip tape on there, and that just allows me to get a very, very good purchase on the front side. This is 9mm anyway, so it does not have a lot of recoil, but it allows me to get a very, very, very good purchase on the front. Changing this out to a stainless steel mainspring housing doesn't make a lot of difference because they have their plastic is stippled or checkered, whatever it is. But you know, I go to the stainless steel because I just like it that way. And then of course I like going from the rosewood grips that came with this one. I like going to this G10 because it's very textured, it's very tactile, and it grabs me as much as I grab it. Recoil on this on 9mm is very light on a 1911 like this. This firearm comes in at about 25-26 ounces in weight, lighter than some because it has the alloy frame, but still recoil and reacquiring the target after firing one round is extremely nice and extremely easy. I find the sights to be okay. I do not like the 3-dot white dot sights. I don't mind the 2 in the back. but I do not like the white dot up front that Kimber provides on this particular firearm. So what I ended up doing is, let me see if I can get it where you can see it. I ended up painting the front sight. See if you can get there. That is orange paint, and I've got the rack open because I'm pointing it back at myself, but I'm trying to get it where you can kind of halfway see the sight. But you can see how it lines up, and it does stand out a lot better than having 3 white dots. So that's just the way I did it. It's not fluorescent paint, it's just some acrylic orange that I had that I dabbed in there. I'm still looking at maybe getting some fluorescent, either that or maybe I'm going to change these sights out completely. I wouldn't mind having some night sights on these, maybe some Mepro lights or something like that. But it's an easy change out on these sights. Kimber sights are easy to change out. The action on this is extremely smooth. I mean, I don't know. It's like butter, man. It's really smooth. I'm going to get a bit closer. You can probably hear it, but there's no grind. It's really smooth. It almost sounds a lot like my Dan Wesson, but not quite as good as that, of course. And then the trigger, of course, go ahead and squeeze the trigger. I can show you from this side. You've got a little bit of take up right there. I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of take up. And then you hit the wall, and then bam, that's it. No over travel. It does have a screw stop for over travel adjustment if you get a little too much over travel to your liking. I don't have any issues with it. I have measured this trigger. The trigger comes out to just a hair over 4 pounds, and it's a good trigger. So I mean, for those of you that like really light triggers on your 1911s, you know, so be it. You're not going to get it with this one. You're going to get about a 4 pound or a little more than 4 pound trigger on this firearm, but you're going to get a really nice trigger to boot. You can always put a match trigger in of some kind if you floats your boat that way. You can always get a trigger job on it and get that adjusted, and you can get that poundage down quite a bit if that floats your boat. Me, I like it the way it is. It fires very well. It's extremely accurate. I did take it to the range, and I will show you a couple of shots that it fired. It's a lot more accurate than I am, and the shots that it fired were first shots, the first ones that I fired with it, and I think I did pretty good. It was out at 10 yards with it, and I think it fired very well, and it's only going to get tighter and tighter as I put more rounds through it, and as the barrel breaks in more, and as I get more and more comfortable shooting it. Again, that's at 10 rounds where I was shooting it, and felt really good. I don't know that there's a lot more I can tell you about this other than operates and is a 1911. It's extremely tight. I'll shake it for you here. You can't hear anything. You don't hear any movement. The slide itself is extremely tight. Again, it's cycled beautifully, but the slide itself is extremely tight on here. And I do like to oil them when I clean them up at first, and then I like to cycle them. You know, I will sit here and cycle this thing when I first get it before I shoot it, about 30, 40, 50 times, and I'll just do it this way. I won't drop the slide since there's no real resistance on there. I don't want to create any issues with anything in the internals by dropping the slide with no resistance, with no shell load-ups. But I will sit there and work the slide for a number of cycles, and just to try to maybe loosen that recoil spring up just a hair, you know, flex it out a little bit, and also to kind of wear it in and take the slide off, wipe it down real good, put a couple of drops of oil on it again, close it back up, and do the same thing again. And then at that point, I'll take it to the range and start shooting it, and we go from there. This has been a very, very reliable gun for those first 130 rounds. I don't see any difference coming after that. I've got a lot more ammo on the way, got a little bit more in the safe, so I will be probably, before I actually start carrying this, I'm trying to find a good EDC holster, but before I actually start carrying this, I'm probably going to put another 600 to 1,000 rounds through it. I just want it to be really, really, really broken in. Not that I don't trust it already, just from its flawless function from day one. But again, for an EDC, I want to make sure I got a good, 700-800,000 rounds or so through it. But that's what I got, folks. Kimber Pro Carry II. This does have the Schwartz safety. Remember, if you get any Kimber with the Mark II on there, it is going to be with the Schwartz safety. Though, just remember, the Schwartz safety is not like your Series 80. It is activated with the grip, so it does not affect trigger pull. Not that any human being can really tell the difference on a Series 80 or Series 70 on trigger pull anyhow. That's it's an old wives' tale. And if you tell me you can tell the difference, then you best check your nose, Pinocchio. Anyhow, but that's what I got, man. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Jamie. Cannonball Cats, hunting on a budget, Texas. I didn't throw that out there at the beginning. I'm throwing it out there now. If you like the video, like and subscribe at the bottom. And leave your comments. I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. Please be respectful. And if not, I'll just erase you. So it's cool, whatever you think. But please be respectful. I like to have these videos so that folks that have a genuine interest in pursuing this as a hobby and collection, firearms, so on and so forth, and the fun of it. I like for people to provide that genuine interest and genuine information out there for everybody. One last statement about this firearm. I am not represented. You'll notice I've done a couple videos for Kimbers, not by Kimber, wrong statement, for Kimber pistols that I own, and but I am not sponsored in any way by anyone. I'm sponsored by the Cats Bank and Trust, which is basically my own account, and it finances this operation, and it finances it through my 40-hour-a-week job. So when I tell you anything about a firearm that I'm reviewing, I'm giving you my honest opinion, and I'm not promoting or demoting any product whatsoever. I think that this gun can be improved in a number of ways. Fix the Kimber Pro coat, right? We all know that they tend to wear out rather quickly. So that's just been the nature of the beast. And maybe provide this firearm with maybe some upgraded sights for those that want them. It'd be a little bit of an added cost, but provided with some upgraded sights, maybe some night sights of some kind rather than just a plain old 3-dot white. Maybe even look at milling this surface to provide one of these with, as almost like a target firearm, so you can get adjustable sights, LPA or Bomars on there. I think you can put LPA adjustables on here, but a Bomar type style. I know it's only a 4-inch barrel, but these firearms can be quite accurate, and fixed sights themselves, man, it really gets the job done. But with some adjustable sights, you could really get it a lot tighter, I would imagine, as well, especially out to 25 and 30 yards or beyond. But anyhow, that's what I got. If you guys like it, like and subscribe. If you don't like it, change the channel. And tell you what, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving this past week. And we got Christmas holidays coming. I want to wish the best and safe holiday season to everybody. And God bless America. God bless Texas, as always. God bless you folks, as always. This is Cannonball Cats signing out. Y'all have a great day.